People of color do not feel comfortable or welcomed within your party. That's why you have to parade someone who has the name Dr. King attached to them so that people can be confused.
Yeah, that's Jasmine Crockett trying to shame Dr. Alveda King for thinking differently. But after the insult, of course, she quickly left the room while Alveda stole the moment through her response. And today, we're going to break it down. So if you enjoy content that cuts through the noise, hit that subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
The vast majority of the people on that side of the aisle, and for those of you that are at home, let me tell you, when I say that side of the aisle, I'm talking about the Republicans, the ones that brought this hearing. And again, you've heard that this is not the first hearing, but the vast majority of them are white men. White men are lecturing people of color because the vast majority, actually, any semblance of diversity comes from this side of the aisle. You want to tell people of color who is fighting for who? People of color do not feel comfortable or welcomed within your party. That's why you have to parade someone who has the name Dr. King attached to them so that people can be confused, because I have been reading the comments online and people are like, who is this Dr. King? Because you want them to believe that somehow she espouses who Dr. King was, yet you've yet to have MLK the third come in here. You've yet to have Dr. Bernice King, the ones that were actually raised by Dr. King, the ones that actually probably understand the teachings of Dr. King.
This was the second hearing the House Judiciary Committee held into the Southern Poverty Law Center. But instead of addressing the points raised by her colleagues about the groups or individuals the SPLC funded while claiming to fight hate and using that message to raise donations, Jasmine once again chose to go after the Republican witness, Dr. Alveda King. She did this for multiple reasons. For starters, it's going to help derail the hearing as the focus is going to shift elsewhere, and that the argument would become about people's skin color instead of what's actually being debated. That's a typical play. Another reason would be attacking Alveda directly, because she's one of the few members of the King family who simply refused to parrot Democratic talking points just to stay relevant. Jasmine then tried to present herself as some authority on everything related to MLK as she read a couple of paragraphs of his writings.
And I just want to be clear, because I want to talk to y'all about what the Dr. King had to say about racism, so that y'all don't get it twisted and don't get it confused just because you see the name sitting in this room. Our nation was born in genocide when it embraced the doctrine that the original American, the Indian, was an inferior race. That was from his 1963 book, Why We Can't Wait. He also said, in the final analysis, racism is evil because its ultimate logic is genocide. If one says that I am not good enough to live next door to him, or to have a good, decent job, or to go to school with him merely because of my race, he is saying consciously or unconsciously that I do not deserve to exist. This was from his 1967 speech, The Other America. So just to be clear, y'all don't seem like y'all even understand what a hate organization is.
She's quoting those books as if millions of Americans haven't already read MLK's work. And it's not like these passages are some hidden secret either. If anything, they're from the less sanitized version of MLK, where he spoke more bluntly about racism. They also don't contradict his famous I Have a Dream speech literally at all. If anything, they reinforce it, because his point was that America had ideals worth living up to despite its history of slavery and segregation. It's really not that hard to understand, but leave it to Jasmine to twist that message while acting as if she's some final authority on what MLK really meant. It got even more absurd when she started quoting Charlie Kirk out of context and drifting into one tangent after another. Then thankfully, her time expired. But what did she do but walk out of the room, leaving Alveda to steal the show with her response.
So
You're now recognized.
Just to clarify,
The gentleman's time has expired.
I understand.
Our next person is going to give you time, Dr. King, to respond. So we will now recognize the gentleman from South Carolina.
I'm going to be gone.
Dr. King, thank you for being here. I know that there was a monologue earlier in which you wanted to respond. I think you were kind of ready to do that, but we're not given that opportunity. Would you like to briefly respond to that?
Very briefly, Congresswoman, I am a bit emotional. I'm going to watch what I say. But it seems as though You have suggested that I am a bastard to the King family legacy. I am legitimately the daughter of Reverend Alfred Daniel Williams King and Dr. Naomi Ruth Barber King. We are a family who loves God, and I love you. God bless you.
Ms. King, let the record reflect that the gentlelady from Texas left the room.
It's really funny how Jasmine had no problem being loud and confrontational while making her points, but the moment it looked like the person she insulted was about to respond, she quickly ran out of the room. The reality is, Alveda's parents and uncle helped shape the civil rights movement in this country, while Jasmine has built her political brand on playing the race card literally every chance she gets. She's exhausting. On top of that, she pushes things that run counter to the message they stood for, like DEI and identity politics. That's exactly why someone like Alveda is such a problem for her, because she exposes that narrative without raising her voice. And more importantly, she did it with grace. One thing's for sure, Congress won't be missing much when Jasmine's gone, because all she does is seem to use these useless theatrics while wasting everyone's time.